Can I, first of all, thank you very much for the extraordinary tribute, and to you, Hugh, for your extraordinarily generous words. I was only delighted that the footage you saw on the screen a few minutes ago wasn't in black and white. It does seem a long time ago, and particularly those photographs in the early days when I was making my first tentative steps as an international competitor in the People's Republic of South Yorkshire. I was brought up in Sheffield, and I was once asked why I ran, and I said that if you were brought up in Sheffield and you went to a classic secondary modern school in the early 70s and your name was Sebastian, you either learned to run or to fight. Let me, first of all, in thanking you for that tribute tonight, just make the very obvious point, and I'm sure Carlos Nuzman will echo these sentiments, that no one person, no single organisation is ever enough to get the complexity of this project across the line. Any organising committee that tells you that they can do it alone has either never done it before or was possibly the Atlanta organising committee. Let me pay immediate tribute to three people that I know are sitting in this room who have made, in their own way, Herculean efforts to allow me to bask in this glory this evening. John Armitt, who is sitting at my table, is single-handedly responsible, together with an extraordinary team, for the progress that we have made on the Olympic Park that hits the very first of the legacies that we set ourselves in Singapore about leaving a changed landscape and enhancing the lives of young people living in East London. Hugh Robertson, the minister, who characteristically was very laid back about his own Herculean efforts. Hugh was with us every step of the way, both as a shadow spokesman and now as minister, helping us to deliver this. And I also noticed that Jeremy Beaton is in here, who has rallied the forces across government to allow us to get to the position that we are also here tonight in the delivery of 19 government departments across that project. I know that Carlos Nuzman is about to be recognised as well. And let me echo something that Hugh Robertson just a few moments ago said. I don't think any two bid cities have ever worked more closely together when they were both trying to nudge across the line. I don't think two host cities have ever worked more closely together. No two cities have combined their forces to drive legacy off the back of the Games. And certainly no two countries, now and in the future, will have ever worked more closely in the delivery of both their Games and the pursuit of those legacy ambitions that both those countries have set. And no two visions that have ever been delivered by two Olympic cities have ever been more closely aligned. And there is a very good reason for that. Partly, of course, because they are the visions that are going to deliver the Games of the 21st century, but they are also the visions of two chairmen of organising committees that have never been closer. And I know that because in 2005, when we were trying to make the case to 105 International Olympic Committee members, of which Carlos Nuzman was one. He was an executive board member of the IOC at that moment. I went across to see him, and after 20 minutes it became so clear to both of us that although we'd never met each other really, or even spoken about what it was we were trying to do, that after 20 minutes we were almost finishing each other's sentences. And we both recognized that this is the biggest vehicle in our lifetime to challenge the orthodoxies about participation in sport, to drive legacy well beyond the confines of the 12 or 13 days of extraordinary Olympic and Paralympic sport. And we both see the world in very similar ways. And that's why I think that this project has been defined in the way it has. It's been defined around sport. You can take the man out of sport, you'll never take sport out of the man. I went to Singapore because I could not see in my lifetime a better vehicle for driving sporting ambition, both at grassroots level and at elite level. And that really is the challenge going forward. And I'm sure that it is a challenge that both our cities will rise to. And in 10 years' time, when we really do need to look back and say, did we make a change? I'm sure we will be able to say that in the same way that Barcelona has and Sydney has and great games before. So thank you very much for this recognition this evening. I know it's possibly cliched and maybe even a little bit trite, but this is a team effort, and I'm extraordinarily grateful to have the smartest people in this country that have ever come together in pursuit of a national ambition to be sitting alongside me in the delivery of these games. Thank you for the recognition this evening. Thank you to the Chamber for being so supportive. And thank you to my colleagues who are sitting in this room tonight for being such a collaborative and extraordinary group of people to work with. Thank you very much indeed.